This is 8.3. We're going to be talking about inequalities today. So you see my nice little picture there. Those are supposed to be tomatoes in a bag. So let's say that Ben and I went to the store and I said, "Hey Ben, I want you to get some tomatoes. Would you get more than 5 pounds of tomatoes?" So if I said that, he could get 5.1 pounds or 5.2 pounds or 5.25 pounds, 5.5, you get the idea, 6 pounds, 6.5 pounds, 7 pounds, as long as it is more than 5 pounds. Now, if I had asked him just to get 5 pounds, it would be this much on the number line. But since we want to show that it's more than 5 pounds, we need to use another way. What we're going to do instead of plotting a point on the number line is we're going to go ahead and make an open circle right above the number line. And then we're going to put an arrow in the direction that we're going. So this particular one had to be more than 5 pounds. So it's going to go this way. Here's my little, well, call that a tomato. It's a little blue tomato. So we're going to go more than 5 pounds. So our line is going to go in that direction. Now, you might be thinking, why am I putting that above the number line? Well, this is why. If you were a 6th grader writing with pencil in your notebook and you went ahead and you did a little circle there, and then you did a line over your number line, and you did your number line and your circle and arrow all in pencil, I could not tell what you were doing. It would be very hard for me to see it, or for anyone else to see it, for that matter. So I'm going to get rid of this one, and we'll just have it right above. Let's try another one. Let's say that I got some medicine, and the medicine bottle indicated that that medicine had to be at a certain temperature. On this medicine, it's below 20 degrees. So as long as it's below that, it's fine. So 19 degrees, 18 degrees, 17 degrees, 0 degrees, -5 degrees. Any of those would be fine. And in fact, it could be even closer to 20, maybe 19.5, even 19.99 would be below 20. So again, I need to go back to my number line and I need to find 20 on there. I'm going to put a circle right above it. And my medicine bottle is going to be on this side. Here's that's not a very good drawing, but you get the idea. So it's going to be below 20. So now I make my arrow going to that side, below 20. Let's take a look at another instance. This one comes from page 25 in your book, in case you wanted to look at it. So in this one, I'm pretending that I'm going to make some kind of cute little craft project. And I need at least 7 feet. So as long as I have 7 feet, I'm okay. But if I have more than 7 feet, that would be okay too. So if I'm not being super careful when I'm cutting and then I measure, maybe I had 7 feet, maybe I had 7.1, maybe I had 7.2 feet, maybe I had 7.3 feet. Maybe I had 7.525 feet. That would be fine. Maybe I had 8 feet. As long as it is 7 feet or above, I'll be fine. Well, if I wanted it to just be 7 feet, I would just put x equals 7. But I'm saying I want it to be either equal to or larger than. So I'm not wanting that. So I'm having x and 7. So I want it to either be equal or larger. So I can also say that as greater than or equal to. And you can see that I have the greater than symbol at the top, and then I have the bottom line of the equal sign. If 7 is greater than or equal to 7, let's take a look at what that will look like on here. So I need to find my 7 again. And this time, instead of putting an open circle, I put a closed circle because x can equal 7. but it can also be greater. So I'm going to write my x up here so I can keep track of which way my arrow needs to go. So it can be equal to or it can be greater than 7. And there's my arrow. And that's all I would do there. Let's take a look at another example. So let's say I went to visit my friend Jennifer in Whitefish, Montana. It gets very cold there. And let's say that the maximum temperature during my trip was -4 degrees Celsius. That's as high as it got. So it's going to be either, it could equal -4, it could equal it, or it could be less than -4, either one. So to do that, I'm going to combine those, and I'm going to write that it can either be less than or equal to -4. So to write that on the graph, I go to my -4, so I know it could equal -4, so I put a closed circle, and then it says that this is the maximum temperature. So I know that it could be lower than that. Because it's lower than that, it could be any one of those things. So it could have been -5 or -6 or -7 because those are lower. Now, don't get mixed up when you go to the left of the 0 on the number line. Remember, even though the numbers seem like they're getting higher, it's actually getting lower and lower and lower and lower. Let's try a couple more just for fun. Okay, I'm going to change my color here. Let's make it a fun orange. Let's say my x was going to be greater than 3. You can go ahead and do this if you want. See if you can get it right. So I need to find my 3, and because it cannot be equal to 3, I put an open circle. And then x is going to be greater than, so I'm going to put it on the greater than side so that I can see which way my arrow is supposed to go, because it could be 4 or 5 or 6. So then I'm going to draw my arrow. Let's try another one. Let's say x is less than 2. Let's say it's less than 2. So I find my 2. It's not equal, it's just less than. So I do my open circle. And then x is going to be less than 2. So I make my arrow to the left. Just like that. Let me try to erase this. There we go. Okay, now, have you noticed that in these examples, my variable is always on the left? That is the usual way to write it. Now, the other way is not wrong, but this is the usual way to do it, so you should do it this way. Okay, let's say now that x is either greater than or equal to 1/2. Uh-oh, what are we going to do here? Well, we're going to have to find 1/2. So 1/2 is between 0 and 1. It's going to be right in there. So I'm going to put my circle right there. Now, you should have noticed that I made a little mistake here. I should have made that a closed circle. So go ahead and fill that in. So x is going to be greater than or equal. So I can go this direction to the greater than side of that. Go ahead and erase those. How about this? How about we say x is less than or equal to -1.5. Okay, well, let's see. We go to 1 here, -1, and there's -2. Halfway between those will be -1.5. So I make a closed circle here because it can be equal to it. X is going to be less, so I know it's going to be to the left of that point, either on that point or to the left. So I make my arrow going that direction. Whoops, little silly arrow. Okay, I hope that helped with 8.3.